Hello, I'm Paul and you are welcome to another small scene. I recently got myself an Arduino, it's here, to a couple of projects. I have some ideas for it, but for now it's controlling a crossing with two signals, light signals. This video is not about the Arduino itself. I've got a long way to go. I'm starting to learn now how to work with it, coding the Arduino. So this is not about the Arduino, but about the signals in themselves, the light signals that I built from scratch using brass pipe. And the special thing about them, they are not super realistic, they are not super perfect, they are not perfect. I like them, I like the way they look, but they are not perfect. But one of the things is that they were very cheap. They will probably cost me less than 50 cents each, with all the stuff, all the material that I use, plus my work. But this is an hobby, so the idea is to build ourselves the things and have some fun with that. And on this video I want to share with you how I build it. I have more to make, so I have now the idea. They have another cool feature, is that there are three different pieces: the pole, the light or the electrical part, and then the head of the signal. And this means I can change parts, I can modify one of the signals, or even if one of the LEDs burns or if it dies, I can replace the LED without having to build another signal. I can disassemble and assemble again, which I think it's cool. So they turn out very nice, and that's how I want to share you. So okay, I hope you like the video, and see ya. So to build this, I'm going to need a 3mm LED, small one, 2mm brass pipe, the 4mm brass pipe, which I'm going to cut some parts. I could use a 3mm, but I couldn't get it, so I'm going to use the 4 one. And a couple of these are metal rings. They have a 3mm hole, and basically it's just this, and of course a wire. This wire is thin enough to fit inside the 2mm pipe. It fits here inside. So basically that's it. First thing to do, I'm going to start to zoom in the camera a bit. First thing I'm going to do, I'm going to bend the negative leg of the LED, the shorter one. I'm going to bend it on the 90 degree angle out, like this. As close as I can to the body of as close as possible to the body of the LED. I'm going to cut this part, and I'm going to sharpen it with my electric tool. I'm going to cut it about like this, a bit. And now I'm going to trim this, so you can see it's very sharp, very thin tip. Now, the next step, to take this, I'm going to take the wire. I already thinned the tip of the wire. What I'm going to do, I'm going to solder to the positive leg as close as possible to the body of the LED. Now I'm going to trim this, and this. Now this is part one. Part one is ready. I'm going to mark 2 centimeters, and then a little more. This will be the body of the thing. Okay, now on my 4mm, I'm going to take about 6mm of pipe. This piece, this should be 3mm. Because I don't have 3 mils, I'm going to have to adjust it. I'm going to give it a cut. Okay, now this allows me to get here, make it fit to this one. It's not enough. I could have cut a bit more. Here, I fit it. And now I'm going to use one of those rings in here. This will be the stand for the signal, the lower part of the signal. And this will be inside my layout. Okay, this is fitted in place, the 3 pieces. I'm going to try to show it. It's a kind of upside down. I'm going to solder this so that the 3 pieces of metal become only one. So I've soldered the 3 parts: the 2mm pipe, the 4mm that I cut to look smaller, and the metal ring to make the foot, the base. Now I'll be soldering another part of the 4mm. This is not totally straight, but well, handmade. I'm soldering another part in here to make the part that holds the light. Okay, now I've tinned the tip of this. I cut from the 4mm pipe another ring, which I have made a small cut, and I'm going to solder this in here. So basically this is what it looks like. This piece here is going to hold the LED, and the base here with the kind of a foot will sit like this. So this is part 2. Now for the head of the signal, I will cut a 45-degree angle on here, the tip, and then I'll cut the rest of the piece. Now I'll have to smooth the edges in here. I'm going to use this piece. So I'm also sharpening on the inside. So the ring. And then this piece that I've worked on to make the head of the signal. This will all be painted in. Well, that's it basically. Okay, it's time to start painting. So these are 3 pieces. I'm going to start with a pole. Okay, I'm going to use some cheap acrylic paint. If I had an airbrush, I would probably use it. Would give a more professional look, but I've painted the other one with this. I think it went okay. So basically I'm going to use a light gray. Okay. Once this is done, but the paint here will act as a electric isolator in the back, while inside the negative pole, the negative leg of the LED will get inside and make contact with the pole and the wire that will be soldered in here later. So this part is done. I'm going to paint the back of the LED here. I'm going to paint this black, not only to avoid the light, prevent the light from coming through here, which it won't be funny, but to isolate this. By painting this with acrylic paint, I'm creating an isolation here. I'm isolating the electrical circuit. The same with the head. Now this is the most important part because this is the aesthetical part of the thing. So I'm going to try to paint this all black too. And then I'll let it dry and then I'll try to paint on the inside also, eventually. At least here I have to paint all of this. You can see this, and I'm going just to rotate the pencil. To make a nice profile around the black part. It's not getting perfect. Here you are. I'll have to repaint, but basically this is it. And so, finally, my small signal. Trying to get the camera on focus. You can see the back, the pole. Still lightning up. So this is it.